I'm often found at the artsier end of the gaming spectrum, and I love a walking simulator. I also enjoy watching people go and explore abandoned buildings in YouTube that have been lost to time or frozen in time, and that's quite interesting too, evoking a thought of liminal spaces, and that's what Pools explores. Pools is a psychological horror game, I would say, but without anything chasing you, any interaction, any dialogue, any user interface, any puzzles, any real, jump scare that's coming at you either. It's all around you with your thoughts in liminal spaces, so abandoned, empty, devoid of human life places that appear to just be frozen in time. And the beauty of Pools is that everything seems and looks okay, but it's deeply oppressive and constricted and claustrophobic and dimly lit, and the sound effects mean that you can hear water trickling down somewhere or bubbling up, or because there's sauna rooms in one of the level, there's steam pipes that will just trigger around and off in the corner. And if you're wearing headphones, it feels quite panoramic as you're splashing around trying to get through all of these pools, up and down ladders, moving through staircases and through dimly lit tunnels that have become flooded over time. And that's what I mean by everything is here and it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense at the same time, because every level feels like a rat race maze. But the tunnels where you'd normally be walking through are now partially submerged in water, meaning that the walls feel like they're closing in on you. And this isn't directly scary, but it's unnerving. And that's where this game really excels itself, and where the type of mood that it's trying to go for. If you don't find liminal spaces at all interesting or creepy or slightly off-putting, Pools is going to be a maze simulator for you, because each level is built out like a maze with multiple options whenever you reach certain paths, and whilst you can keep going round and round and eventually getting to your end point, there are usually some clues dotted around the walls that will help you kind of go vaguely in this direction and you'll be fine, because you're always looking for the exit from the pools to try and get out from. And that's fine, but I think largely Pools just won't be for you, because it's about being left alone, empty, with your thoughts in these liminal spaces that slowly creep you out and start to play tricks on you. Pools has 6 levels. The first few levels really do stick to that pool aesthetic, and then it starts to branch out slightly beyond that on a wider narrative about what's going on here and what it's trying to say. What I will say is that the landing of the ending doesn't really stick, and it felt somewhat disappointing to me, but I really enjoyed the journey getting there. Be that discovering all of the different slides that you can play with, watching the rubber duck slowly turn to face me as I was walking around it and thinking is that going to cause some kind of psychotic attack on me? It never does, but it's that creepy unnervingness. Same with pink flamingo floaties, just amply just bobbing around on the water, and you're thinking something's weird here and it's going to start freaking out, and it never does, but it holds that tension all the way throughout, which is really what sells Pools as a unique creepathon rather than it being an out and out fright scare-a-thon, if that makes sense. It's a really tense atmosphere is what I'm trying to say. It's quite difficult to recommend this game without kind of trying to give if you like this, you'll like this as well. And my big recommendation here is, if you liked the Backrooms games from years and years ago, Pools is doing something somewhat similar. And if you like one, you'll probably like the other. If I'm critiquing this game from an actual gameplay and mechanics point of view, my only criticism here is that there is no mid-level save. If you quit out, you will have to restart one of the 6 levels back in again. They take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes each to play, depending on how lost you get and how slow you take it. There is a run button, thankfully, which I did start utilising towards the end when I was finding myself getting a bit annoyed with some of the maze-like effects of what goes on in this game. But yeah, this one is an interesting labyrinthian exploration of being alone in your own thoughts, lost in a soggy environment. What's not to love? Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane network. a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/HigherPlaneNetwork. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.